What is the science behind sourdough fermentation? 1. The basics of sourdough fermentation, understanding the process. Sourdough fermentation is a natural leavening process involving wild yeast and lactic acid bacteria. Unlike commercial yeast, these microorganisms are present in the environment and in the sourdough starter, which ferments the dough over time. 2. Role of wild yeast. How yeast contributes to leavening. Wild yeast, primarily Saccharomyces exiguus and Saccharomyces cerevisiae, ferments the sugars in the dough, producing carbon dioxide and alcohol. This carbon dioxide gas creates the bubbles that give sourdough its characteristic rise and airy texture. 3. Lactic acid bacteria's function, adding flavor and texture. Lactic acid bacteria, including Lactobacillus species, play a crucial role in sourdough. They convert sugars into lactic acid and acetic acid, which contribute to the sour flavor and enhance the bread's shelf life by lowering pH and inhibiting spoilage microorganisms. 4. The fermentation timeline. How long does it take? Sourdough fermentation is a slow process, typically taking 12 to 24 hours. The long fermentation period allows for the development of complex flavors and textures as the wild yeast and bacteria work in tandem to ferment the dough. 5. Hydration levels and their impact, adjusting moisture for best results. The hydration level of the dough affects fermentation. Higher hydration creates a more open crumb structure and allows for better fermentation. Conversely, lower hydration results in denser bread with a tighter crumb. 6. The role of temperature, influencing fermentation speed. Temperature significantly impacts fermentation speed and flavor development. Warmer temperatures accelerate fermentation, while cooler temperatures slow it down. Proper temperature control is essential for achieving the desired sourdough characteristics. 7. The importance of the starter, cultivating and maintaining a healthy culture. A sourdough starter, consisting of flour and water, is crucial for fermentation. It must be regularly fed and maintained to ensure a healthy balance of wild yeast and bacteria. A robust starter contributes to consistent and reliable fermentation. 8. Flour type and its effect, choosing ingredients for optimal fermentation. The type of flour used influences fermentation. Whole grain flours, such as whole wheat or rye, contain more nutrients and support a more active microbial community. White flour, while still effective, may result in a milder flavor and less complex fermentation. 9. The science of dough development, gluten and fermentation. Fermentation also affects dough structure. The gluten network developed during kneading traps the gases produced by yeast and bacteria, leading to a well-risen and airy loaf. Proper kneading and stretching are crucial for achieving the desired texture. 10. Conclusion. Mastering sourdough science, perfecting your bread. Understanding the science behind sourdough fermentation helps in mastering the art of baking. By controlling factors like yeast and bacteria balance, hydration, and temperature, you can create flavorful and textured sourdough bread with a perfect rise and tangy taste.